this choice. We may make it intentionally, unintentionally, consciously or unconsciously, but we make this choice. Okay. At some point, we choose either consciously or subconsciously to be afraid, or we continue to choose to do so. So, if I understand it's not that simple, but we need to oversimplify to understand for a second. Fear and anxiety are extremely complex subjects. I don't mean to undermine the complexity at all. There are thousands of educated professionals who are smarter than I am that understand these details a lot more than I do. But I want to simplify it for a second. Okay. So, my story, let's get to heights. All right. So, I was afraid of heights when I was younger. I didn't know how to word this without letting the cat out of the bag, that I'm no longer afraid of heights. I don't know why I was afraid of heights. I don't know if something happened when I was younger or if it didn't happen. I don't know. So I can't really say that I made a choice there to be afraid of heights. I could have. I don't know. I could have been, when I was younger, they could have, I got a toddler, they put me up on a ledge or something and it scared me. And so I made a decision, whatever. I don't know. I don't know if this is the case or not. But I was afraid of heights. I could have naturally been afraid. I'll easily get to that. But the point of my story is that I decided in my 20s that I wanted to be a firefighter or the Navy. Okay, I'm a former veteran. I got out of the Navy. I was a hospital corpsman. I decided I wanted to be a firefighter and an EMT. In order to even get an interview for the fire department, to even get to the interview process, I had to climb to the top of a 115-foot ladder in full fire gear. And once I got to the top, I had to answer a series of simple questions, and I had to answer them correctly. Now, simple questions are easy to answer until you're 115 feet in the air, and you have to answer all of them right, or suddenly you don't get to move on. You don't even get a chance to get an interview for this job. It doesn't matter what an amazing firefighter you be, if you can't answer these simple questions at the top of this ladder, you don't make it. So I had decided that I had to do this. I had to get over it. And so I made the choice to change my perception. I thought, people do this every day. People climb these ladders. This is part of the job. If I want to do it, I'm going to have to do it. I physically overrode and changed my perception. Long story short, I was hired on the fire department. I had several rescues on the top of that ladder. And I'm currently a retired firefighter. And so we do make the choice, and we can make the choice. And we make choices every day. And the Four Agreements talks a little bit about that as well, about all the choices. That's the Four Agreements is actually about the agreements that we unconsciously and within. So that's part of it. So perception, choices. What does any of this have to do with mindfulness? Well, I will tell you. Mindfulness is awareness. Having awareness helps us make better choices. In this instance, I was able to train myself to overcome my fear of the heights and climb the ladder. And I diminished the stress response through awareness. Now, I can honestly tell you that as I climbed to the top of the ladder, I was afraid. I wasn't near as afraid as I thought I would be. And I was able to control the fear through mindfulness and breathing and that type of things. And if I were to do that today with the mindfulness experience I had, I don't even know that I would be afraid. I do have to say I've been on top of that ladder enough that the fear is gone, but I think you understand. I think you understand my point there. Okay. So this can be done with almost any situation in our lives every single day, almost without exception. There are exceptions. And I want to grant that. I'm aware that there are exceptions to everything. If for example, if you found yourself being chased by a saber-toothed tiger tomorrow, that is probably an exception to this. But you probably will be thankful that you have the stress response being initiated, so you can physically outrun the saber-toothed tiger or fight or whatever it is that you need to do. But I digress. So with this awareness is the awareness and the perception allows to begin us to mindfully examine our interactions with others and ourselves. So when we're now paying close attention through the mindfulness and the awareness, we begin to see things differently. And when we see them differently, we can begin to act differently.